United Kingdom education system. At its peak, British colonialism affected half the nations on the globe. As a result, the United Kingdom's educational system emerged as one of the most influential models in the world. Even today, British credentials are awarded at more than 10,000 independent schools globally. Higher education institutions, HEIs, in the UK are widely recognised for their research and teaching excellence and have traditionally been a magnet for international students. The UK likewise exports a high number of students. In the 2014-2015 academic school year, the nation was the 12th leading feeder of international students to US-based HEIs, contributing an estimated $380 million to the nation's economy. This article seeks to provide admissions and enrollment professionals with a snapshot of the UK's education system from the primary through tertiary levels. It also offers an analysis of relevant mobility trends and an overview of the accreditation process for UK higher education institutions. History. The UK, with a population of over 64 million people, comprises England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Its history of higher education dates back to 1096. With the founding of the University of Oxford, popularly known as the oldest university in the English-speaking world. The 19th century saw dramatic expansion of higher education in the UK, including the establishment of many medical and engineering institutions. In the decades after World War II, the British government sought to respond to the increased demand for higher education and technology training through two primary routes: the creation of new institutions and an increase in the number of HEIs designated as universities. This designation process is discussed in greater detail below. In 1992, the government awarded university status to additional colleges and polytechnic institutions, which, just like universities, provided bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees, albeit with a bent towards professional practice and application. Expansion was again initiated in the early 2000s, and has continued since. Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland have significant autonomy over education issues. Despite this independence, many aspects of the diverse UK educational systems remain similar. The most notable differences are seen in the Scottish education system. They are highlighted in this article as applicable. International student mobility. Educational exchange between the United States and the United Kingdom has been significant for at least the past 18 years. The 2015 Open Doors report on international educational exchange indicates that the UK is the most popular choice as a destination for American students, attracting 12.5% of all Americans participating in study abroad programs. The UK is likewise a significant contributor to US institutions of higher education, stacking up as the 12th leading place of origin for US-bound students. The financial impact of these students is significant. In 2015, some 10,743 students from the UK contributed $380 million to the US economy. The number of British students coming to the US has trended upwards since the late 1990s. The last decade saw some fluctuations, but the number of students coming to the US has grown continually since the 2008-2009 academic year. In the 2014-2015 academic year, the numbers reached an all-time high. British students in the US typically study at the undergraduate level. In the 2014-2015 academic year, 48.5% of the British students in the US were studying at the undergraduate level and 24.5% were enrolled in graduate studies. The remaining 27% were participating in other types of programs, including optional practical training, OPT. A table showing mobility trends between the UK and the US from 1997-98 to 2014-15. Education system. Education is compulsory for all children in the United Kingdom at the elementary and lower secondary levels. Most students are between the ages of 5 and 16. Instruction is offered in English, and the academic year runs from the end of September or the beginning of October to June. Most institutions operate on a trimester schedule, with 3 10-week school terms. As previously stated, the most significant differences within the education structures of the United Kingdom occur in the Scottish system. In an effort to highlight the specifics of each system, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland will be covered in one section, and Scotland will be addressed in a subsequent section. Education in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Elementary and secondary education. Elementary education in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland is provided for 6 years to students between the ages of 5 and 11. Compulsory secondary education is offered for 5 years. Students are typically between the ages of and 16. At 16, students may sit for multiple examinations in different subjects. Students sitting for the GCSE typically take between 5 and 10 examinations. They are free to choose the subjects and number. The GCSE led to the creation of the International GCSE, which offers international students access to the British curriculum. A General Certificate of Secondary Education, GCSE, is awarded for each subject passed. Sitting for the exam marks the end of 11 years of compulsory education. World Education Services, WES, evaluates a minimum of 3 GCSE as equivalent to a high school diploma. Students interested in higher education will typically pursue the pre-university or further education programs that are discussed in greater detail below. Other students may pursue vocational training. Pre-university education. The GCSE can be followed by pre-university or further education. Pre-university education is a 2-year senior secondary program that leads to a new round of examinations, the General Certificate of Education, Advanced Level, also known as GCEA levels. As with the GCSE, students who sit for the exam choose the subjects and the number of examinations. The average number taken is 3. WES awards undergraduate credit based on the nature and number of subjects passed. The GCSE and the GCE. Advanced level examinations are offered by regional examination boards, including Edexcel Limited, the Assessment and Qualifications Alliance, AQA, and the Oxford and Cambridge Examinations RSA, OCR. Vocational secondary education. Vocational programs for studies in subjects like healthcare, information technology, business and engineering are also offered. After reform in 2007, these programs can now lead to one of several credentials, such as the Applied General Certificate of Education. This credential is less theoretical than the GCEA level and is intended to help recipients to enter the workforce. Further education is also known as senior secondary vocational education. This refers to education that is no longer a part of the secondary system, but not included in higher education. It is focused on vocational programs, or hybrid general academic and vocational programs. The most common credential earned through further education is the BTEC Level 3 diploma, which is awarded after 2 years of part-time study. US evaluates the BTEC Level 3 as equivalent to a certificate-level program. Admission to higher education. Admission to HEIs is managed by the Universities and Colleges Admissions Service, UCAS. UCAS is responsible for post-secondary admissions. Prospective students begin the UCAS application process a year in advance of their anticipated enrollment. Once these prospective students are accepted by the admissions office, they are given a list of universities to which they may apply. HEIs then send conditional offers, or, in rare cases, unconditional offers to their chosen applicants. Conditional offers stipulate the examination results that must be obtained on the GCEA levels in order to guarantee admission. Most HEIs request 3 GCEA levels and 3 GCSE, though this depends on the institution and program. For those students who wish to continue their studies after vocational secondary education, many British HEIs will admit students on the basis of vocational A-level results or BTEC Level 3 diplomas. This type of admission often requires the student to continue in the same vocational field of study. Higher education in the UK is categorized as undergraduate or postgraduate study. Undergraduate study leads to a British first degree, which is generally a bachelor's degree credential. Postgraduate programs are entered into after a bachelor's degree has been earned and result in master's or doctorate degrees, or postgraduate diplomas.